Mario, be careful. I have a bad feeling about this. You're telling me. Welcome back to Hack Attack, the only show where I break your games and then laugh at you. I'm Aurum, and today we'll be kicking back on Isle Delfino, doing a little bit of hacking in Super Mario Sunshine. While plenty of Mario fans love this game for its strange additions like hovering and voice acting, I can guarantee that by the end of this video, a talking water hose robot will be the most normal thing you can find in this game. This time, instead of using Photoshop, we'll be using MS Paint, so please enjoy the higher quality video. Enough lazing around though, let's strap on our oversized water gun and squirt. Are we allowed to say that? Right into these hacks. We're not playing football, but Mario's about to go long. First up is the Stretchy People hack, which pulls apart every character in Isle Delfino like they're made of cheese. It's definitely quite the hack to start off with, considering how extreme it is. If you get Mario to certain spots, you can get him to look normal, although he's got a little bit off at the top. It seems like the further Mario gets from the origin of the world, the worse off his condition seems. Hey Mario, why the long everything? Even poor Princess Peach got her toads wrapped up into this. With this hack, not even paint itself is safe, because just look at this orange graffiti over here. It's not looking so good. Oddly enough, PD Piranha doesn't look all too bad, but something's definitely wrong with his mouth. Unfortunately, the same can't exactly be said for Gooper Blooper. Honestly, taking him out of his painfully messy life is the only option. This Pianta's having quite a good time. It looks like the Cataquacks are the only ones that aren't hit too badly by this code, so that's an upside. Nope, never mind, these guys are still awful. Mamma mia, let's go back. So what we have is the Crazy Textures mod, but I think Nightmarish is a bit more fitting. All the textures have been shrunken and wrapped, giving this freaky fractal feel. In addition to the world looking like an Escher painting, this game's text is equally as incomprehensible. But wait, it just gets even weirder. If we enter a cutscene, it doesn't exactly look like the way we remembered it. Boy, people have said this game has some long cutscenes, but I think this is really stretching it. This also makes the heat waves look absolutely absurd sometimes, which can get pretty distracting honestly. Granddad? Is that you? I think Rika Harbor gets hit the worst by this. I mean, just look at it, everything's just such a mess. Hey Mario, I've just come to consume the souls of the living. Nothing weird or anything, but I think our next hack is definitely just that. You ready to go long? Okay, this is the long camera mod, which drags the camera all the way back. Well, at least in layman's terms. Seems a bit like a field of view modification to me, but either way the end result is pretty cool. You get this nice zoomed out view of the entire world, which is pretty neat, but it's not as cool as once you start moving around, because then it's really hard to keep track of the world itself. Super Mario VR, anyone? Also, the secret stages are quite the trip. Definitely not the easiest to play with this hack, I'll tell you that. Something cool that I noticed is that when the game does its transitions, they're actually off screen too. Even though everything's a little difficult to see, playing the game this way is actually pretty fun, albeit weird of a challenge. But I think there's an even better way of playing the game that won't induce headaches. A helicopter. Mario is now a helicopter. Well, not exactly, but if he wants to drop his hot sticky fireballs on unsuspecting toads, that's fine. This code, cleverly named Helicopter Mario, turns Mario into the most powerful flying force in the universe. We can go just about anywhere in the Delfino airspace, granted we stay inside our bounds. Mario can also take the camera around for a spin when you press Y, and it's a bit disorienting. Besides making you as dizzy as humanly possible, this code has some use for navigating over big gaps and even helps you out with that dreaded sandbird. If you think that's just exclusive to Mario, you'd be wrong. Yoshi can also get in on this, which will let you skip that horribly long boat section. Unfortunately, it doesn't make the secret level any easier. However, this code on its own is pretty decent, but I think if we combine it with our next hack, we can really soar. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's actually Mario. I've deceived you. This is the super jump code, which allows us to ascend past the heights of any ordinary plumber. Combining this with a spin jump hack like I said earlier will send Mario straight up into the sky, and the spin jump will keep him there. This kinda eliminates the need for rocket nozzles, since we can jump at just about the same height that it allows. This code only turns down the gravity, so you don't exactly go to space. We'll cover that game in another video soon. Using our tuned down gravity rate, we can easily cheese pretty much any big space that we need to cross. We've explored the skies, but how about we venture to the seas of Isle Delfino? This is the hack called Walk Through Water, which sadly curses Mario so that he may never take a nice dip in the pool ever again. You can even spray water under the surface in order to belly slide all the way across the ocean floor just in case Mario's doggy paddle wasn't cutting it for you. This hack doesn't seem terribly useful, as it does actually make it hard to reach some areas out of the water. But at least now you get to enjoy the vast, deep blue seas without drowning. Next up, we have the double vision heat wave hack, where the intense heat of Isle Delfino causes a lot of backgrounds to look just a bit hazy. You can still mostly make out where you're going, but just not while being terrified that the entire world is melting. This also makes for some interesting scenery in those Shadow Mario stages, with all the moving geometric platforms. It even causes a Mario copy to appear during the blooper race minigame, so you can actually race yourself. The only downside being that this evil heatwave version of Mario will always serve just a bit ahead of you, proving that we all are truly our own worst enemy. Now we have our previous hack's younger brother, aptly named Insane Heat Waves. This hack takes everything you loved about the first Heatwave hack with an extra touch of please save us. Like the first hack, this messes with a ton of the background images and causes lots of strange hazy effects, especially with water reflections. Lots of barely recognizable parts of the level just seem to fill up the screen at times, making this hack a bit more difficult to actually play the game with. The citizens of Isle Delfino certainly don't seem to mind, but it is definitely feeling like the world around you is coming to a terrifying, fiery end. It's not all bad though, this level has a lovely rainbow sludge waterfall to enjoy. Now just like Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine did away with super mushrooms in favor of the old life meter. You could take a lot more hits, but Mario will always stay the same puny size. Well my friend, if you find yourself missing those glory days of size variation, I have just the hack for you. Large Mario is a hack that makes Mario, well, larger. But that's not all it does. In addition to making Mario a titan amongst worthy commoners, it also seems to make him somewhat of a cyborg. Well, it doesn't seem to scale up too well, and it ends up becoming a permanent part of the poor Italian plumber. Other parts of Mario's scale seems to be off just a little, seen here as he desperately tries to morph himself into his Paper Mario counterpart. For the final hack, we'll be bringing back the chaos of complete corruption. This chaos hack from Blastsoft Studios does a multitude of things. Unfortunately for us, they aren't very normal. Sometimes you'll have the textures completely glitch out, which is actually the least strange thing that can happen. Sometimes Mario will just teleport. You know, plumber things. Other times, Mario's body will just begin to slowly separate itself like it's being chopped up in a blender. It's pretty bad. But wait, there's even more. Oftentimes, Mario will just be sent flying through the air. Or other times, Mario will just jump uncontrollably. Even at some times, Mario will don a scuba helmet and a pretty groovy shirt and pretend like he's underwater. Oh, and his body will probably do that thing again. But I think the best part is when Mario can turn to a magnet. We can take this Tanuki guy and drag him slightly underwater. It's pretty funny how... Oh, I think he's dead. Okay, so that's about it for this episode of Hack Attack. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more, and follow on Twitter for some extra goodness. This has been yet another video of the Super Mario Marathon, so I'll see you next week, or right now on Patreon, for yet another one. So don't forget to stay golden. This is the super jump code, which allows us to ascend past the heights of any normally